Good afternoon. Welcome to Small Business Saturdays. I am Catherine Weathersby, your host, and I would like to welcome you to Small Business Saturdays. And today we're going to be talking about I own all the tools, but I ain't making no money. Let me say that again. I own all the tools, but I ain't making no money. So if you can hear me in the chat, I want you to give me a snap. If you can hear me right now, I want you to type in the chat, snap. And we'll continue on. Snap. All right, Cherise, I got you. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. I am so excited because this is something that I have been brainstorming on for a couple of weeks. And before I get started in my subject, I want everyone who has joined me today to come in and introduce themselves. And my co-host is right now not in the room, but she's going to come back in momentarily. She's working on her audio. So if you are here today and you are a business owner, whether you have a personal brand, whether you have a small local business, whether you have a chain of businesses, whatever business you're in, I would like for you to come in and get on the hot seat and introduce yourself and your business and tell us how we can follow you, whether on Twitter or here on Blab. So who's going to be first? And I want to introduce myself because I have not done that so far. Let me bring in my co-host here, Renee Walker-Penna. And she and I met on Blab. She's out east and I'm in the south. Can you hear me now, Renee?
I can hear you now.
Wonderful. Oh, wow. Great. Okay, so we're going to start by me introducing myself. So my name is Catherine Weathersby, and I'm an award-winning internet strategist. I am also a local SEO expert, and I generate leads for local businesses throughout the United States. I have been online since 2009. I enjoy working with others. I enjoy helping others. And in the last 90 days, I helped a business make almost 12 grand in 90 days. And so today, that's a little bit of what we're going to be talking about and how you can start working with me. And I can help you to earn real money online, not pie in the sky, stuff you can take to the bank. So if you can hear me and you feel me, give me a snap. And now I have introduced myself. So Renee, it's your turn.
I'm Renee Walker-Pena. I'm the founder of Raw Branded, which is a marketing and communications company that helps creative people and small businesses to help them with their personal brand, to be authentically branded, to be raw branded. That's something that you'll hear me say that all. You have a 9 to 5 in addition to this, and in that work, I help several educational institutions to get students, to get people to take their courses. So I'm using a lot of lead gen, that kind of strategy to do that. So I'll talk about that too today.
Okay. So Renee, work on your audio a little bit. People saying that you're breaking up just a little bit. You got me? Okay. So I would like to invite anyone right now, we're recording, who owns a business. Welcome to Small Business Saturdays. If you just entered the room, and I would like for you to come in the open seat and introduce yourself and your business. Okay, Matt, come on in.
Hello.
Hi, Matt. I just saw you on another Blab a few minutes ago. I was in the room. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. I would like for you to introduce yourself to everyone.
Yeah, my name is Matt Sherman. I'm a senior at ASU, studying communication, co-founder of Fusion Mobile Applications. Fusion Apps is what it's called. And yeah, it's kind of what my deal is.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your business. You said you create apps. What type of apps are you currently creating?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way to explain it is that when you think of Generation X, you think of people that grew up without technology. People that grew up with reading books or building forts or actually interacting with each other. That's good human connectivity. Now you think of Generation Z, and they're growing up with an iPad in their hand. They're going to grow up with Google self-driving cars, and they're going to grow up with just with technology fed into their mouth, like just technology. So what our apps are going to do, the millennials kind of have seen both sides, which I'm a millennial. So we're going to fuse both of those generations together to create the future generation of apps. So we're going to use technology to enhance connectivity in the world.
Wonderful. And how long have you been doing this?
Not long. We're very early stage. I would say the idea is I got the idea about 5 months ago, and we've been kind of working pretty hard for about a month and a half.
Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome to Small Business Saturdays. Yes, thank you for stopping by. And is anyone else willing to come into the room and introduce themselves today? I see Ian and I see Dr. Leslie Brown, and I see quite a few. Anybody else want to come and stop in and introduce yourself before I get into our topic for today? Okay, Hattrick, come on in.
Welcome, Rick.
That's Hattrick Ramsey. Hi, how are you today?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Great. Good. Can you please introduce yourself and your business?
I am Fraser Ramsey. I'm from Edinburgh in Scotland. I run a cleaning business where I clean homes and offices. I am also one half of a podcast show, and I try to do a little bit of events organizing as well as trying to set up a promotional company as well.
Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome. And from Scotland, wow, that's the furthest I've ever had anyone come in on Small Business Saturday. So I want to welcome you to the room. Today, we're going to talk about people that own all these tools and they're not making any money. So we're going to start in this respect. I would like for everyone to tell a little bird on the left so that we can get more people in the room that can learn about you, your business, go to your profile. All these things are possible when you share the information that's in the room. And I want to thank you for inviting others in. So I'm going to tell you my story. So 4 months ago, I moved. Well, a little longer than 4 months ago. But the mover that moved me, he had $100 to invest in a startup moving company. He wanted to start his own company, and he knew that he didn't have the resources to hire me to market his company because it didn't exist. So he and I talked, and I, discussed his plan with him. He did not have a business plan. He did not have a strategy. All he knew is that he wanted to move people. So he and I talked back and forth for at least a couple weeks. And at some point, he decided that he wanted to invest in my marketing skills. So he gave me $100. And from that $100, in 3 months, I made him 12 grand. Now you say, well, how did you do it? Well, first of all, if you believe that helping other businesses is about you, I'm here to put a thumbtack in this. It's not about you, okay? It's about the client. And a lot of businesses that I've been listening to on Blab, on Periscope, online, they think that this whole thing is about them, okay? It is not about you. It is about the person. And I want to say this, and if I can get a clap, clap, in the comments, it is, if you're not helping a person earn money that they can deposit in their bank account, then you are doing them a disservice. You're doing them a disservice because no one comes into this thing. I'm a prime example. I was online for 2 years trying to learn how to blog, trying to learn how to email market, video marketing. I did the whole thing. I did all of that. And I did it for 2 years solid. And I, at the end of the day, was a broke blogger. Okay. I purchased lists. I did solo ads. I brought paid traffic. I did everything that my mentors told me to do. And I came away where I invested thousands of dollars in these products and tools. and I made zero. Now, did I sign some people up? Yes. How long did they stay in? 4 months, tops. The last guy signed up at my highest, package that they had me selling was $5,000. That's what I invested, and he invested. And in 3 days, he quit, and he got a full refund. So my investment was never realized. I never made my money back, but I had all these skill sets. Okay, I had all these skill sets, and it didn't benefit me one iota, I thought at the time. Okay, so what happened was, many of you have invested in businesses, you've invested in coaching, you've invested in tools, you've invested in mentorship, you've invested in everything under the sun. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to name some tools. And if you have invested in these tools in the past 5 years, I want you to write in the comment what I'm going to say. So if you invested in the last 5 years, if you have invested in an email autoresponder, I want you to put in the chat a snap. Your email marketer can be Aweber, GiveResponse, MailChimp, Entreport, Infusionsoft. If you have invested in any of those tools in the last 5 days, put in a snap in the chat.
Are we talking about investing money, investing time?
Investing money in the tool of an email autoresponder. If you have invested in the last 5 years in an email, if you use an email autoresponder, maybe that's clear. I want you to put snap in the chat. Okay. So you're using one free. Anybody else? Thank you, Matt. Anybody else using an autoresponder right now? Okay. So this will help me know what direction to take this in. If you currently own a blog, please put clap in the comment section, or snap, whichever one. If you currently own a blogger, blog, WordPress, Weebly, Wix, any of those. Bless you. Sorry. If you currently own a website, put a snap in the chat. A website of any. I'm reading one of the comments. It's hilarious. Okay. If you currently own any video editing platforms, be it Wondershare, Camtasia, or any other JVZoo platform. I'm talking to people that have paid for tools. I'm not talking about free tools. I'm talking about if you have paid, invested in tools. Okay? If you
the video.
If you for the video, put clap snap. Okay. Do you own any sales page applications?
Throw that in there.
Be they ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Optimize Press. Put a clap and a snap. Paid tools only. Okay. If you own any tools that I have not mentioned, please write in the chat what that tool is that you have invested money in. Okay, CRM, payment processor, buffer, okay. Shopping cart, e-commerce. Okay, very good. So most of you that are in this room today have invested in tools, and that is indicated by your response. So if you have invested in tools, my next question is, have you made money with those tools? Are you currently making money with the tools that you have indicated?
Nope.
Okay, please type it in the chat.
Any of them. Email, the
Nope. Okay. No. Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay. What is so sad about this is many of us have invested thousands of dollars in tools and we're not getting results. So today I want to talk to you about how you can get results from investing in tools. First thing I want everyone to do is go look at my profile quickly, please. If you could, if it doesn't draw you out of the room or anything, if you could take a quick look at my profile. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Okay, when you've looked at my profile, please put a clap snap. When you've had a chance to read it, put a snap clap.
Everyone's disappearing. What's going on? I don't know what you're doing.
Okay. All right. So somebody said done. Okay, done.
Looking at the same thing.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so if you have read it, then you see that it indicates that I'm not talking about myself. So what it says is that these are the things that I have done to help other people to make money, help other businesses to make money. So today I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you 3 tips about helping others to earn money online. And so then it puts you in a unique position, because when you can make other people money, when you can duplicate what you do as far as helping people to make real money in real time, it changes the dynamic. And that's what happened to me. I had a total breakthrough, and I was able to not just tell someone how to use the internet, how to make money online, but I actually helped them to do that. So for any business, we all know that it's very important to be able to generate leads, okay? And when I mean leads, I'm talking about in real time. I'm not talking about massaging a lead or building a relationship. That's not this pie in the sky conversation. So if you expected me today to talk about, how you can build a relationship with somebody and wait 6 months to drop a sale, this is not the platform or the blab for you. I'm talking to people who want to make money and they want to do it every day. Every day that they get up out of bed, they want to make money. I'm not talking to anybody that is saying, this is not about money. Because if it's not about money, you're wasting your time. You might as well get a job. Because what's the point? I'm a mom, my son's in college, and this is not what I don't need to talk to anyone about resources and tools and that sort of thing. I need to talk to you about what's real. So tip number 1 is offer your lead an incentive. And I would appreciate it if you take notes. So you need to offer your lead an incentive. If you want to drop the sale, if you want the prospect to become a paid customer, you need to, in fact, offer them an incentive. And that incentive can be a promo code, it can be a discount, or it can be a service related to the product or the service that you're selling. So that is something that you need to do. You need to have them buy based on a deadline. Because if you don't make a deadline or put something in place, then what happens is they just it goes on for infinity. You never close them. I sold Xerox copiers in Chicago, and I had a window of time to get that person from point A to point B. When you're in business, you have to move the customer from point A to point B. If you're not doing that in a specified time, then you're wasting your time, because you're never going to close that sale if you don't do it in a timely manner. Okay? So you want to make sure that you give the customer as much incentive as possible to buy a product or service from you. Okay? The second tip, are there any questions before I go from that?
Or you can join.
Okay.
Like you've got questions.
I'm going to take questions at the end, but I'm taking questions now. If you have any questions about tip 1, then I'm taking questions. So you need to offer an incentive, or you need to offer them something to incentivize them to go ahead and buy from you. This is about lead generation, okay? This is about in real time. So what I'm talking about is waking up every morning to 50 to 100 leads that are going to interested in buying your product. They've raised their hand and they want to buy from you, and they want to buy from you today. Okay. So I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about you incentivizing them. I'm talking about you having a continuous incentive to get people to buy from you. Okay? So that is the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do is use consumer reviews, case studies to get leads. So in terms of what I'm discussing you want to get testimonials from people who have in fact purchased a product or service from you, and in doing so, they can give you a testimonial or a review, a positive testimonial or review. So what you want to do is use either a case study, I mentioned a video testimonial, and you want to follow up with hot leads quickly. So you're getting a lead, okay? You're taking that lead and you're moving them into a position to sell to them, okay? And so this is what I did. I got the leads for people who wanted to move. I took that lead and then I moved that lead into a prospect. From that point, I wrote the quote, and I and they agreed on a price, okay? And through that process, then I was able to pass along customer acquisition. So he became a customer, or she at that point. So I'm talking about in a 4-hour to 2-week span of time. So most of the sales happen within 5 days. So 5 days from that point, I was able to acquire a customer for the business. So as I stated, from point A, that they raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in your service, to the end, they became a customer within 24 hours to 5 days. Okay? So that is really what you want to do. You want to incentivize them. You want to give them enough information where you can move them from point A as a hot prospect or lead to closing them, to realizing that, you have received money, which is a deposit, or paid for in full, or in fact, you go ahead and you close it and get all your money, and you perform the service that that you said that you would do. So that is point 2. Now, how do you cultivate a hot lead into a customer? And how do you get them into your funnel as a hot lead? You want to have something like a click to call. And click to call is where they are going into a situation like AdWords or Bing or something, and then they're able to contact you through the search engine because they're ready to do whatever it is that you offer. So in my example, if they're ready to move, they're calling you in real time. And by doing so, you then take that lead, you talk to them on the phone, you establish rapport quickly, and then you proceed to close them. So that is what I'm talking about when I say a real lead in real time. Okay. I never buy leads from companies. I never do that because, yes, you picks music. Yes, I buy traffic. I don't buy lists. I don't buy old lists, hammered lists. There's so many lists out here where people have just been inundated over and over again. And so the list, it's just like, it's not real. You can get lists with bots. You can get lists that are, they're not, the people aren't real. So do not buy lists. Buy traffic or buy ads. And when I say ads, I'm talking about Facebook ads. I'm talking about Google AdWords ads, Bing ads, because you definitely want to move them through the process quickly. Okay, so you want them to want your service as soon as possible. So if they're trying to say it's an emergency situation. We had a flood here recently, and they said it was the worst flood we had in 100 years. So as a result, a lot of people needed restoration. They needed water taken out their home, water taken out their apartment. Things were damaged, things were water damaged, etc. So what ended up happening is they needed the service as far as an emergency. And so if you offer someone an emergency service, then in fact, you want to, give the person an opportunity to reach out to you in real time and to request the service. So that is, click to call, they're calling in, they want the service done in immediacy, or they want it done in the next 2 to 3 days. That is how you, in fact, want to bring on, a lead. That's a hot lead. And it's for an emergency service or it's for something that they need in the next 3 to 5 days. So that is what you want. Okay. So tip 3 is, did I give tip 2? I want to make sure I'm giving you everything that I had intended for you. Okay, yes, I said customer reviews, and then tip 3 was use real-time leads. So those are your options. Those are your options. And most people are not generating leads daily. So if you're not generating leads daily, then it's hurting your business, because you can't run a business if you're only generating leads once a quarter, once every 90 days, once every 6 months. You don't have a sustainable plan. That's what I'm saying. So it's very important for you to be able to generate leads every day. And so that is basically what I wanted to share with you today. I do have a PDF, which I want to offer you. You can go to this link, I believe. Let me make sure I have the right link. And get your free copy. Renee, I'm bringing you back into the room, please.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So I see I had a troll today.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had a serious troll today, huh? Well, you know what? This is how I am. If I'm going to present tips, then that's what I'm going to do. And no one, and we just had a blab about this. You don't let people take control of your room. When you're on here, you don't let people take control of your room. And if that's what you come in for, I'm definitely not going to talk to you, because that's not what this is about. So I'm here to share information. Has any of this information been helpful to you?
Yeah, I think you should recap it. Recap the 3 tips.
Okay. Okay, so in the event in the future that we have a troll, if you would hashtag help, because it's not necessary. You know, I came here to share information, and that's my only goal. And so if people don't want the information, then this is not the blab for you. So the first tip that I'm going to recap is offer your lead an incentive, and use a promo code, a discount, or a deadline to incentivize them to go ahead and become a customer. The second tip is to use customer reviews, case studies to get leads, and video testimonials. Okay. And step 3 is use real-time leads, not lists, to get prospects, and follow up with them while the lead is hot, so that you can close the lead within, I'd say, no more than 24 hours to 5 days. And this has worked for me over and over and over and over again. Okay. So that is exactly what you want to do. So, Patty, welcome to the room. I would like to thank you for joining us today. I'm talking about how you can generate leads in real time. And I want to thank you for coming in.
Well, you said real-time leads. What are real-time leads?
Real-time leads is a situation like I explained with the flood, where they need the service and they need it now. They need a move and they need it now. I had 2 commercial moves in 2 days where they had to have the work done immediately. So most of the leads that I run into now, immediately, or within 5 to 7 days at the longest.
Okay. So you need it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so you're rushing that by, what are you doing to get the leads now? Or is that stuff you can't share?
That's the secret sauce. And that's where the coaching program is where I teach you where to get them from, what to say when you get them. Because even if you have them, if you don't say the right thing, you're never going to get them as a customer. Okay. So that is the coaching part of the program.
Okay.
So are there any other questions? It's easy to keep it organized. It's easy to keep it organized. How do you close? How many leads? 30 leads. How do you close 30 leads? Okay. You may not close 30 leads, but you have 30 prospects that are interested in your service. Without CRM, I am using CRM. And Renee, I know we discussed this on another blab that we had recently. And you asked me, you said, why is your text ringing? And I said, that's CRM. Those are people who want services in real time. And the only reason it's not ringing now is because I turned it off. So I get SMS messages every day. But you don't know what the CRM is. I asked you what tools you're using, and people already stated that they're using CRM. I never said that I don't use CRM. So I'm not going to even go into that, because that is the secret sauce that I use, and it is coming from my coaching program. So are there any other questions? So Renee, would you please tell us about your business and who is your perfect client for your business?
My perfect for my business would be basically someone like myself, someone who's creative, someone who wants to build their personal brand. I keep it. I know you're supposed to niche down, but the way I niche it down is anyone who's in a creative industry or is doing something in a creative field, or just wants to market themselves or their business in a unique, different way. Not so much like very, very corporate, but more of the creative type of flavor of things. I think we so that's what I focus on for my business. And CRM, I'm not using it for my business, but working in my 9 to 5, I do use CRM.
Okay.
Like,
And so we talked yesterday, and you told me that you are in telemarketing. So you told me that you guys use lists, and that you, in fact, use lists in terms of making calls. So how does that work? I mean, if you were to take that same model and put it in your personal business, do you think that would work? I mean, what's the percentage? What's the percentage of success do you have using lists?
So far, it hasn't been as successful as we would like it to be. I mean, some people do come in, we purchase a list, and the whole idea is then I offer an incentive and then capture their contact information that way. But then converting that into a sale or into a client, that's the next step that we're struggling with. And maybe it's the actual list itself. Maybe the list isn't the best list, the best contact. Maybe that's the issue. So that's something that I'm exploring right now and trying to see if that would make sense, this whole process in my personal business. I think what I need to do right now is offer the product, create the product, which would be courses for me. So
Okay.
I need to do that part of it.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's like this. If you have a niche and you can niche it down. So, for instance, in the moving business, his niche was, of course, moving. But the way we niched it down and created more categories is he would assemble IKEA furniture. So it's a big market in Houston for assembling IKEA furniture because there's an IKEA here. It's not like when I was in the Midwest and the IKEA was like 100 miles from where I lived, And so it would take, that was a Saturday outing. A lot of people in Indiana would go over to Illinois and it would take 2 to 3 hours to get to IKEA. So what would happen was, in doing that, it's an all day, excursion. It's a destination. So people weren't readily buying from IKEA because it just took too much energy to do that and then come back. And then you got to pay somebody to put it together. So that's why an IKEA probably was in my area because, of the amounts of money that people made wouldn't support an IKEA, even though IKEA is really cheap. So they only put it in certain areas where there's certain income levels. So in doing so, by Houston having such a large population, over 2 million people since 2013, then it makes sense for him to put together IKEA furniture because there's a great demand for that. So when I say a niche in a niche, that's what I'm talking about. Or I'll give you another example, a limo company who has an event planner, okay? And so not only are they providing limousine service, but now they can schedule and they can, put together your birthday party, your wedding, any event. If it's a conference, a business conference, if they offer those services, then that helps to, makes the company more money because they're offering a service that the person may need. And you never thought, wow, an event planner and a limousine. But if I owned a limousine company, I would definitely have an event planner because a lot of people, when they come and they want a party bus or whatever, they have no idea how they're going to celebrate. They have no idea. So what I get a lot of, and I get leads for this too, I get event planners, I get wedding planners, I get requests for limousine party buses, because what happens is when you place yourself in a position, and this is what I was wanting to explain, but I never went into it because of what was going on. But when you can take yourself necessarily out of what you're doing, and you can go into the marketplace and you can look out and you say, what service or product does the marketplace want? It changes the dynamic, because you're no longer saying, this is what I do. You're saying, I'm open to doing other things that are going to serve the marketplace. And so that was the shift for me. The shift for me was, I was no longer saying, well, this is what I do. I was open to what the marketplace was looking for. And that changed the total dynamic. Now, the tools part, that was fun and games, because a lot of people are investing in tools, and I'm not using any of those tools currently to generate leads. So that was my point.
I'm not using any of those.
I'm not using email marketing. I'm not using, okay, let's do this. Let's do it in reverse. I'm going to tell you what I am using. I'm using the phone. I'm using a text message, and I'm using a website. That's it. I started off blogging. I started off video marketing. I'm using stealthy techniques, which means that I'm off the charts. I'm not visible other than the website, which I can SEO, which I can write blog articles if I choose, but I don't have to blog. So stealthy means I'm making money for my client and myself, and it's not with my profile projected as far as my blog. It's not with my profile projected as far as email marketing. None of that. Wow. So I have the skill sets. But I'm not generating leads in real time with those skill sets.
So no email marketing. You just have a blog. No, not even a blog. You have a website.
A website.
And that's it. Basically a website.
A website, a phone, and a CRM. And that's it. And that's not the way I was taught. The way I was taught is you got to have all these tools. You got a video market. You got a video market. You got to buy traffic. I do buy traffic. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I buy ads. I do Google AdWords. I do Bing ads. I do Facebook ads. Okay. But that's not that's a small percentage. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what I want to do. Okay. What I want to do is show people through a coaching program my blueprint and exactly how I'm doing what I'm doing. And I will walk you from point A to point B. Okay. So that is what this is about today. It's about you own all the tools, but you ain't making no money. And the reason you ain't making no money is because people have told you that you need to do all of these things which are keeping you busy and may not necessarily be helping you to earn income. So what I said when I started was I went from $100 to over $10K in 90 days. And if you have a business and you need me to show you how to do this, please go to my website, KatherineWeathersby.com, and go to the contact form. And when you go to the contact form, I will schedule a discovery call, a 30-minute discovery call with you. And at that time, if in fact you are open to trying something different than what you're currently doing in your business, I will show you how to do and duplicate what I'm doing. Now, in the next 90 days, I plan to triple the $10,000. So I went from 100 to 10, and I plan to triple the 10 in the next 90 days. And the way that I can do that is by following the blueprint that I'm coaching on. And my coaching program is in beta. So you're welcome to contact me and to set up a discovery call, and I would be more than glad to, show you exactly what to do to generate income. Because if you're not generating income, then in fact you are not, what are you doing online? I mean, what is it about? It's all fun and etc. And yeah, this I want to do this and it's fun and so and so's doing it and it's the new shiny object and that. But if you are not able to generate income, then you're just out here with a bunch of tools. That's it. So, Renee, are you coming back in? So to recap.
Wait a minute.
To recap.
I can hear you.
Okay. To recap the tips.
No, I don't see you.
Oh boy.
I don't hear or see you.
Uh-oh. Come back in.
Let me try this again.
Okay. So tip 1, offer your lead an incentive such as a percentage off, promo code, a discount on a second item of service related to their purchase. Set a deadline for the purchase. So don't let them just go, indefinitely. Set a deadline for the purchase. Give your customers as much incentive as possible to purchase from you. Tip 2, use customer reviews, case studies to get leads and video testimonials. And that will help you to increase the number of sales that you're able to close. 3, use real-time leads, not lists. Okay? Get leads daily. And get input from people that you speak with. So if you're speaking with people about your product or service, get input from them as to what they want you to offer. Because in talking to them, it will help you to, make a better product, something that they actually will use. You don't want to create products and services that people don't need. And a lot of us are in a position where we're creating services and products and people don't need them. And so in the marketplace, we find ourselves not able to monetize because we're not creating something that people can actually benefit from. And so if there are no benefits in it, then there's no purpose for it. If it can't help someone, there's no, what's the benefit?
Right.
There is none. So it's what's in it for me. WIFM, that's the radio station that everybody's tuned into. And so I hear a lot of chatter and I hear a lot of conversation online, on Blab, on Periscope, everywhere I go. Everybody is offering something, but they're not telling a transformation story. And if it's not transformational, it has no benefit to the marketplace. You have to sell the transformation in order to get results. Well, to get the person results, to get the business results. If it's a local business, and trust me, word of mouth travels. So if you're going into your local market, and your local market could be anywhere in the world, and you're not providing a benefit, then your outcome is not going to be what you would want. You may get 1 or 2 people to do it, but it's not going to be ongoing. It's not going to be sustainable. So that's how I feel about it. And scarcity is important. If you have a product or service and people feel like it's in abundance, it's a higher supply than it is a demand, then that's going to hurt your business. Because nobody wants a novelty. People want something that they can physically or use or get a benefit from. So if you're not, if there's no benefit to it, if there's no outcome, if there's no profit, it's just something in the marketplace. Even when I read a book, I want a book to at least give me something, Renee, that I can use. Otherwise, what's the purpose of the book if there's no outcome? So what is your thoughts on that?
No, I think that's definitely, like you had told me the other day, you said there has to be some sort of benefit. And I told you this is why I had it in my head as I'm creating these courses. It's something that I need to remind myself, because people will ask that, what am I going to get out of this? What's in it for me? If I take your course, what am I walking away with? And I don't think, like you're saying, I'm not seeing that all the time. I think people are promising big, big results, and they're not saying specifically how are these things going to happen. So it's a lot
Right.
of hoping, I guess, but I don't even know.
Exactly. So the way that this is what I do. I test and tweak. This is how I was able to do it. So I test and I tweak. I test and I tweak. If it works, then I scale it. So for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. If I run an ad in Google AdWords and the ad generates a lot of response, I'll start small. So I'll do the ad. I may do the ad for a couple weeks. And if I start getting phone calls as a result of that ad, then I will scale and I will spend more. If I don't get results, then I will discontinue the ad and I will build a new one. So I have an arsenal of copywriting or ads that I'm putting in place, and I'm testing each ad. The one that becomes the best campaign is the one that I scale.
Okay, so you're doing a little bit of advertising.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, you have to, because you remember, once again, the focus is local.
Mm-hmm.
The focus is local. So whatever the service or product is, and the reason it's local is because the SEO is easier in local than it is nationally or worldwide. For certain keywords, you're not going to SEO, everywhere. So it's easier to SEO in a local market than it is. So say if Dallas is your local market, then you want to SEO in that local because it's going to be easier to get to the top with certain long tail keywords than it is if you try to do the United States.
Right.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper SEO locally than it is nationwide. Okay. So that's why you always want to use local to your advantage, because it's easier to utilize local. Local will get you where you want to be much quicker. You can blog and get your content at the top of Google quicker, Bing, Yahoo. You can video market, get your content to the top because you are using local, okay, versus trying to rank everywhere. And so it's a smaller market. Now, for local, you want to be in a community that's a little smaller than, say, a Houston or Chicago. So you want to get into maybe a suburb or a smaller area, a smaller town where your competition is less. So I bit off a big piece of the pie when I bit off in Houston. Okay. I bit a huge piece of pie off. You don't want to do that. You want to be like, say, in Killeen, Texas, Fort Hood, somewhere smaller. Because if you're in those areas, the SEO, the competition is much less. So where there might be 15,000 moving companies in Houston, there may only be 5 or 20 in Killeen, Fort Hood. So it's easier to SEO in that environment.
I see. Okay. So definitely local, advertising local.
Yes. Yes. And it's cheaper because the keywords are more competitive if you're trying to SEO everywhere. The keywords are cheaper if you're trying to SEO in your local market. So I would say if you want to do a national thing, always start locally and then scale it. Get to the top in your local market. Because if a person, say, for instance, say if I'm in Chicago and I'm moving to Houston and I'm looking for a mover, if I Google that, I'm going to get local results. I'm not going to get Chicago results. I'm going to get local Houston results. So that is why you want to SEO locally, because if a person is coming from somewhere else and they want to come into your market and you're at the top, you're the one who is going to get the phone call.
So that's helped you to move up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then you just let them contact you. Once you get big amount, they're contacting you, and then you're linking them to your client.
Yes. So the situation is this. I don't take on the burden or the stress of doing the work. So if it's landscaping, I'm not going to go out and cut their grass, but I'm going to connect them. So I'm basically a connector. I'm connecting the actual physical task through the website and through the CRM, and I'm putting those two pieces together. So I'm creating the prospect who then finds the service, and I'm bringing the two together. And in doing that, everybody benefits. The customer benefits, I benefit, service provider benefits. These are leads that he would not have ordinarily gotten.
Oh, we have
Hi.
some people coming in right.
Okay, can you welcome them in?
Minus Q8. We have just a friend who just came in.
Okay, welcome, just a friend. Come on in.
How are you? How are you?
Hi. How are you boys today?
How are you? How are you?
Where are you? Where are you located?
Kuwait.
Kuwait. Wow, you're way across the world. How are you?
How are you?
How old are you?
What's your name?
How old are you?
9.
9 years old. And how old is your brother?
5.
5. And how did you find me?
I like black women.
I like a black woman.
You like a black woman? What? You're only 9 years old. Well, you know what? I thank you for liking me. And welcome to Blair. You are so handsome. You and your brother are so handsome.
You say my sister.
What did you say?
You say my sister.
Something about a sister. Okay.
You say my sister.
My sister.
My sister.
I'm your sister. Okay. Yeah, I'm your sister. That's right. Renee is laughing.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bless you. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi. Hi. And I guess you're the dad.
Okay, bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. I guess I didn't get the sister part, huh?
You're so cute. Oh my God.
You know what? I was on one of these the other day. It's so unpredictable. I guess that's what people like about it. And some kids came in, okay? And it was like some older retired people. And the kids came in and they were just playing and they didn't want to say anything. They just were playing. And she was like, that's kids. This is their technology. This is their day. And she's so right. It is their day. So when they come in, they're just so cute. And I would much rather deal with that than deal with trolls. I just would. I just love it. When people come in, I've never met anybody from Kuwait. I've never met anybody from Scotland. So for have those people to come in and to introduce themselves, that's great. That's great.
the best thing about social media.
Yes.
Connecting everybody across
Across
the
the
globe.
world. Yes, yes, yes. So I mean, it's just so interesting. And how are you still blabbing, or how's that going? Or are you using
I need to
Periscope?
pick up
What do you like about Blab? What do you like about Periscope?
Okay, well, Blab, it likes this aspect, speaking with different people, having a conversation. That works for Blab, and the topic keeps going on, and weaves and everything. I like that, having this kind of discussion with people, and people jump in and out. With Periscope, the thing I like about it is I get to choose one topic, and then I talk about it. Kind of like giving a webinar. That's basically it. I feel like mini webinar, sometimes not even mini, because it ends up being longer than I thought. And I'm just talking about a topic, and people ask questions, or they just watch me because I don't know. They just want to hear me talk.
Right?
And I'm like, whatever.
Or your subject matter important.
Are important. And so that works, and then I package that and put that on the scope.
Okay. Yeah. So, have you ever had a troll on Periscope? Because that's why I don't use it. That it's like, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that. Have you had a troll on Periscope?
I haven't, but you can block them. You can just block them. They start trolling and saying things. And I've seen people's scopes I've watched, and people say some crazy things, inappropriate things, and some of the hosts have fun blocking them. And they'll just, go to the person's name and then hit block, and then
I could have done that here. Because I did end up doing that to someone last week.
You did? Oh,
but wow. I kind of let it pass because, I mean, if you don't learn how to react in real time, then you're not going to. Live is not for you. It's almost like you got to roll with it, And if it comes to the point where you really have to remove someone from the room, you have that option. But I would never allow someone to overrun me in a conversation or tell me how to control my blab that I'm putting my time into because you want answers. It comes to a point where, you can't let people just manipulate you to that point and just take over your blab. And I was on a blab the other night and they were talking about this most seriously. And they were saying that you don't let people come into your show and just take over. As the host, you can.
We have Kathy who just joined us. Hi,
control
Kathy.
Your show. Would you like to come in, Kathy? You're invited to come in and take a seat. Are you a business owner? Do you have a business? Let me give you some feelers here, Renee.
Thank you. I can't see. You know what? I can't. It's saying poor internet signal, but I can hear you.
On mine?
Yeah.
It's saying it on mine?
Yep.
Okay. Stay in the room, please, and I'm going to go out and come back in.
All right.
Okay.
Having a technical difficulty. I know I was having the same thing too, and I'm now blabbing on my phone.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yep, you're back.
Okay, great. Yeah, this, it goes up and down, in and out, and that's just part of it. Hi. Yes, I'm a small business owner, but I'm not ready to join you today. I'm in listen only mode. All right. Well, Kathy, tell us what kind of business that you have so we can give you a shout out. What's the name of your business? And how long have you been in business? And while she's typing that, I'm going to stop the recording after she tells us her business, and then we can just, let's see. I see Kathy, TLC Friends. So does that have something to do with your business, TLC?
Maybe. Kathy, I'm the founder of Raw Branded, which is a marketing and communications company to help creative people and businesses with authentic branding, raw branded. You say that you're an independent distributor with a health and wellness company.
Oh, health and wellness. You know who would be on here? Who would be great for her? Kurt. Yeah, because they're in the same industry. Yep. Well, Kathy, welcome. Thank you for visiting us today, and we look forward to you coming back on next Saturday. And I hope that you come back and you're able to jump in a seat. So you have a great weekend. And Renee and I were just going over some tips, and I'm going to stop the recording right now. So I want to thank everyone who came by today, who stopped by, and who introduced themselves in their business. And we look forward to seeing you next week at noon for Small Business Saturdays. Also, let me put the link in here for the PDF today. There's a PDF that I created on lead generation that coincides with the topic today. And there it is. So thanks again for stopping by, to everyone who came by today to Small Business Saturdays. And I look forward to seeing you again on next week, where our topic will be, and I will make that decision during the week. I don't have the topic yet. So thank you very much for watching. From Catherine Weathersby and Renee Walker.
Shooting this documentary in Canada. My sister, who's a genius, negotiated my contract. In the contract, it says in the credits underneath my name, they have to put my seduction.com. So that documentary, I think, is going to be a big hit. It'll be airing for a long time. They're going to try to take it to film festivals, and I don't know when it's going to come out. That's the problem, and how they're going to edit it. And yeah, that's my bizarre business. The other way that you can generate leads, I'm just starting to explore this, is joint ventures. Get promotional partners. So I'm going out to other people in my space and saying, look, I'll promote your product, you promote mine. Get promotional partners. That there are people who could seem to be competitors, but in fact, they have your own customers waiting to get shoved down your funnel and you shove yours down theirs. Not shove, but offer. So I'm just exploring that. That's what my coach told me about. I'm not quite sure of the intricacies of it, but that's what I'm going to be trying. And so promotional partners. My coach told me something. He said, if you're the only person promoting your business, then your business can't grow the way it ought to. And so I think that's right. What is your background for both of you? How did you learn all this? By the way, I'm not flirting, but you're both very beautiful ladies.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Renee, you can start first.
I'm the founder of Raw Branded, which is a marketing and communications company that helps people, creative people and small businesses, to brand themselves authentically, to be raw branded. So that's what I do. I've had many years in marketing communications, and now I'm veering into the wonderful world of live video to get the word out there, because I'm now building this business that I've done for free for many years, until I wised up and realized that I could use this as a business. And so that's what I'm doing now.
Cool.
And what I do is I help businesses in local, which is the entire United States, because every city, town has local businesses. So I help local businesses with SEO and lead generation, customer acquisition, client attraction, and internet strategy. So I will sit down and tell them how to use sales funnels, how to use email marketing, or anything that they need to drive traffic. Also,
and how do you get paid? Do you get paid a percentage of the profit? Do you get paid an hourly wage?
Yes.
How do you do it?
I get paid a percentage of the profit. So in the case of a moving company that I just explained to everyone I helped, I got 50% of the profits.
That's awesome. And how do you do their books? I'm interested in this because how do you make sure that they're keeping the books right and you get paid equitably?
1099.
PayPal
keeps the record. PayPal PayPal
Oh.
1099 me, and I 1099 him or them.
Why didn't I think of that? I'm Jewish. I should know this stuff.
Now that is funny. Yes,
my headache's gone. Wow.
Oh, good.
That really works.
Wonderful. I run everything through PayPal, and the reason I do that is because it's easy for record keeping. They keep all the records. I don't have. It's not hard.
Yeah.
And then when it comes
smart.
time for tax, I just send him a 1099 based on what we split, and it's a 50-50. Now, normally, if you're asking me what I would charge, I would do the website, and I would charge $2,500 to $3,500 a month plus a percentage of the sales. So I could still do that with a 50-50 split.
Wow. Let's see. You're beautiful. You're successful in business. Are you single? And where do you live?
No, in fact, I've been married for 28 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just flirting. This is how I teach guys to be, to flirt, But I'm flirting, but I'm also genuinely curious. Both of those things. All right, I'm going to let you ladies go. I'm monopolizing your room, and I didn't mean to do that.
No problem.
Have fun.
So nice meeting you, Ross. Come back. We'll be here again next Saturday.
Success.
Yes, thank you.
All
You
right.
too.
I know.
Okay, bye-bye.
I see that Catherine has a question.
Yes, I saw that. She said, I like driving traffic beyond the front door, but doesn't that limit how much time they spend on your site?
Beyond
It depends on what you're offering. What content is there? If content is there, if it's niched and the content that they're getting on your site is specific to what they're doing, then no, you won't. They won't fall off. If I'm doing lead generation and I have 30 articles on lead generation or local SEO, if that's something that really interests them and they really want to contact me for follow-up, they will go ahead and go to other pages and read the articles. They do it, all the time. It's how much content you have there. I think on my blog now I have about, I want to say over 100 articles, content articles. And of those, I would say, of those, I would say almost 50 are SEO. Because I started blogging about 3-4 years, a long time ago. Okay, maybe 5 years. That's a long time to me. I started blogging, but I actually learned how to blog through my tools. So I was just writing because I'm a writer. I'm a journalist. So what I did was I took the training that I told you I don't regret I invested in, and I was taught how to properly blog, how to blog for SEO purposes.
For SEO purposes. And I know before blogging for fun,
exactly.
I wasn't doing that. It wasn't strategic at all.
You didn't know. You didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm figuring I'm a writer. So what is blogging? It's something that I already do. I write. So I started writing, and no, that's not the way it works. You have to, you have to write based on keywords, and they have to be keywords you can SEO for. It doesn't just mean keywords either. It means keywords that you can rank for, and because it's very competitive. But as I stated earlier, if it's local SEO, then it's easier to rank in your local market than if you're just writing, for everyone, because it's very competitive. I mean, if you're writing, say, for a stylist, say I blog, I do ghost blogging. So if I'm writing for a salon and I'm blogging for them, then I've got to find keywords that I can rank for based on the competitors in their market. So that's one thing I will put out there. When you write and you choose your keywords, choose your competitors' keywords. Don't choose keywords. Use the keywords that your competitors are using. Because then you're going to SEO in terms of what they're doing. So what you do is you go, whoever your competitor is in your local market, you go find the business that's ranking the highest in that market. And then you use their keywords. Does that help, Renee?
Kathy has another
Okay.
question. But you're
So
absolutely
it,
right about that because I wasn't doing that. Keywords are the name of the game. You still need that. You still need to blog around SEO for SEO purposes using keywords. She says, but if you have other topics on your site that could benefit them, how do you attract them to those other areas without them coming back to you first? What's your marketing platform?
okay, you said could benefit them. How do you attract them to those other areas without them coming back to you first? SEO is still pretty fun. Okay, so if I'm understanding what you're asking me, how do you attract them to your other blog articles? How do you attract them to other information on your website? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Without them coming back to you first. So when you say come back to you first, do you mean they're calling you? I mean, because that's great if they're calling you. I would prefer for them to read something and call me or set a discovery call with me.
Right. And if your blog is a part of your website, then they're not technically leaving you. They're still on your website. So
right. And if you're getting a call, that's the desired outcome is if you can talk to them. Because I'm like this, if I can talk to you, I can sell you. I mean, I just want to get you on the phone. So is that what you're asking? How do you attract them to those other areas without them coming back to you first? I'm not sure about that part. Can you explain that part a little more? Do you want them to call you? Or do you want them are you putting them through sales funnels? What process are you putting them through, Kathy? Are you having them to go through a funnel first, or is that your desired effect, or do you want a phone call? It depends on what you want out of it. Do you want them to contact you personally? Do you want them to make an appointment with you for a discovery call? What exactly do you want them to do? Because you can direct them in any way you choose. They're on your site. Now you want them to explore, other offerings. Okay. That doesn't always happen unless the other offerings are related. Are they related to what you want them to explore? Or are these offerings are they all like relative? Do they have something to do with each other, or are these other offerings?
You know what you can do though, Kathy, is if you have a blog topic that's related to your product. I mean, your whole blog is related to your product. So at the end of your blog, you should have some sort of and there's different tools that can do that to either capture their email or to promote your product at the very end. If you want to learn more about this, try this product that will help you. You know, you want to loop that into your product at the end of your blog. So you can still do that and still capture them that way.
That's what I was just going to say, Kathy. Hyperlink. So if it's a related product too, in addition to what Renee is saying, throughout the article, don't put too many though. Maybe put no more than 3, because then it just gets monotonous, and you're selling, and people are resistant to that. So put it in there in such a way that it ties into what you're discussing. The product has to tie in some way, because if it's just information and they're really not seeking that type of information, it's related but yet not related to the topic, then just keep it in line with what you're selling. So if you sell one product and then say you have, I'm gonna say it like this. Say you have 2 articles. Okay, one article is about the one product you're talking about now, and the other article is about the other product. You can hyperlink the second article to the post. Okay, so then they're going in to read about the other product. So you can couple it where they're going into multiple articles that are going to help them. So one article leads to another, which leads them to another, which leads them to another, and they're all hyperlinked within the first article. But it has to be related. And then at the bottom, if you're using WordPress, I don't know what platform you're using, it always says related articles.
It does.
You know,
It does.
exactly. Or they can, click on that, or they can go to search. Like when I do articles about lead generation, there are other articles I've written within my blog that are listed and posted under there. And so they can just link to whatever article. But if it's a video, a YouTube video, or something I want them to go look at, I'll hyperlink it throughout. But I don't do a lot. I might do one or two at most. Because then it gets into a situation where you're really just, you want to keep them within. Another thing, why I'm mentioning YouTube, you don't want to send people from your blog to YouTube. Would you agree, Renee? Because then they get in YouTube, they get lost.
And say that again. If they hear what would you?
If you hyperlink a YouTube video, it's possible for them. You're sending them off your blog. You're sending your traffic to YouTube, and then they get over there and they get lost because then they're now looking at related videos and they're looking at other people's content. So I would be careful about sending them off.
I don't send them off, but I embed my YouTube videos into my blog.
Okay.
So that's
what do you leave it where they can't? Because sometimes people leave it too with the YouTube where they can still go to YouTube. You know what I mean?
Still can go to YouTube from the image clip. They could, but at least video they can fit in the blog. So if the video's there and it's talking, they can still read the blog, and then hopefully there's a link to the product within the blog. So it's still all in your website.
Right. And there is a way within YouTube that you can check. It's something when you embed it where they can't just click on and just go to YouTube. I don't know what that's called. Yeah. Is that no follow or something?
Something like that, like you don't share it or they can't share it. The other thing is on YouTube now, you can promote your product. You can put links to your product on YouTube. So you can, so even in that video, there'll be some sort of like a card, I think it is. And then you can, they can purchase your product through your video.
Okay. Now I'm a YouTube partner and I had to sign off on terms that I wouldn't do that. So I can't do that.
Really? Well, why can't you do that as a partner?
I can do it in the description. I can do it in the description, but you know how you put in the annotations? I cannot annotate them to a product, or it's set up some kind of way where you can't do that. If you're a YouTube partner, you can't do that. You have agreed that you won't do that. So basically, then you're sending them you can send them to your blog, but I don't think you can send them like to a sales page or something. You can't advertise, okay? Because you have to pay for advertising on YouTube. Pretty much as a partner, they want you to pay for advertising. So if you go into a situation where you start trying to advertise, as far as the annotation, now I didn't say in the description, you can put any link you want to in the description. But when it comes to actually on that video, on that video itself, you can't have annotations to products.
Is that because you're already partnering with them?
Right. They want you, if you're going to do that, they want you to pay for advertising.
Well, here's the thing. You can't even do I think they now have like a card. There's no card option partner.
I have to go and look. When you say a card, explain what you mean.
This is relatively new that YouTube set up cards. So now there's two ways you can do it. The card either promotes your website. That's one thing. The other option is you can set it up so that they can purchase a product on the video screen. So I don't know if the option is taken away if you're a partner, but there is a way that you can. It's a new feature. I'm forgetting the word of the actual wording of it. But there's a card that promotes, I think, your website. Then there's another thing that they can actually purchase your product from the video.
Okay, I'm gonna go and look, and I'll let you know because they're very strict, and even if you try to put the information in there, it won't accept it. They won't. I've tried to put a link in, it just won't take it. Kathy is asking. She says, "I'm thinking of Amazon that uses hyperlinks and images. Customers also looked at." So
Yeah.
when it comes to Amazon products, yes, you can hyperlink Amazon products, anything that's related. If you've ever used Hub Pages, and I don't know if you guys have heard of that, it's set up like that, where you go in and you write articles, and then you include. So, say if I'm talking about some type of natural hair care, then I could write an article about natural hair care, and then I could hyperlink to Amazon products or eBay products that are for natural hair. And then if someone comes in, I've done that, and people have purchased books from my link, and then they go in and they buy books that I didn't even recommend. I still get paid for that. So it's similar to that same thing for your website. Exactly. So welcome. Welcome if you just came into the room. Oh, wonderful, Kathy. Thank you so much. You're amazing yourself, and I look forward to seeing you on next Saturday. Thank you so much for stopping by and involving yourself in our discussion. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Take care. Okay. Any other questions? Welcome to the room, Earth Plate and Caesar. Would you like to come in and take a seat? We would love to have you come in on a discussion.
We're talking small businesses and some tips
Small
here.
Business Saturdays, yes. You can come in and introduce yourself and your business.
Yes.
This is Renee Walker Penna, and I'm Catherine Weathersby, and we're both business owners, and we have been online. I have been online since 2009. How long have you been online, Renee?
Since 2011.
2011, all right. So I see Earthplate. Are you interested in coming in and introducing yourself and your business?
I think everyone's being shy.
Okay, if not, they're shy today. Earth Palette. Oh, okay. Well, come on in a bit. Okay. You're welcome. So, Renee, do you want me to recap some of my tips? Okay, so let's talk about, because I felt like there was some thoughts when I talked about my profile. And this is my thoughts on your profile. And this chef today, I went into her room. Hi, Charlene. Welcome back. I went into this chef's room today. Would you like to come in, Charlene? And she basically said, she read my profile aloud while I was sitting outside the room in the comments. And she said, this is the way you write your profile. Because she's talking about others. She's not talking about herself. And so, that was, I was really happy, because you do have to, it's what you and I talked about, Renee, what's in it for me? And so if you're not, talking about what you can do, what service you can provide, what outcomes you can provide for others, then it really, to me, it does a disservice to you, because then you're not allowing people to know what you do for others. So that's why it's important to write a great profile.
And she read your profile out loud, you said.
She read my profile. I've been going into a lot of rooms recently, and people are reading my profile out loud. People are talking about my business. So they're promoting my business, and I don't even know these people. And, they're giving me props, which I have to give you some right now. Charlene, are you coming in today, dear?
Give you some hand claps too.
Oh, yeah. You've been a big help today. I really appreciate it. And so it's just interesting. Not today, taking a short break from a project. Okay, well, I'm happy you stopped by and you thought about me today. I am so pleased to see you. The last time you and I talked, you were working on your taxes. Did you get them done? Renee, she was using us as a distraction because she had work to do, and she said, well, I'm going to leave. Good. You got them done. Congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to recap real quick while you're in the room. and several others. Okay, people are in and out. Okay, so today I talked about tips for lead generation. And my first tip was offer your lead an incentive, okay, to get them to fall over the fence. And that can be a promo code, that could be a free gift, that can be a discount on an item or service related to their purchase. So that was one of the tips today. My second tip was use consumer reviews, case studies to get leads, and video testimonials. And my third tip was use real-time leads, not lists, not bots. I'll tell a story about the guy who saw me some bogus leads recently. Well, maybe about 8 months ago. And you have to get leads daily, okay? And you have to call them while they're hot. We talked about advertising. We talked about Google AdWords. We talked about CRM. We talked about different ways you can get daily leads and why it's important to get leads each and every day. Yeah, we covered a lot. And it's been a marathon. So I'm excited that you're here today. And we're just really just having fun. We're hanging out. You know, we've met some people from Kuwait. Some young boys came in from Kuwait. And then we had some other people pop in and out, Scotland. And it's just getting to be fun, Charlene. It just really is. I'm meeting people from all over the world, you know. So it's interesting. I really like the platform. Renee, you want to share what you think about Blab?
So far I am loving Blab. Catherine, did I get you to get on Blab?
You did. You did. You know what? You did. Yes, you did. Because I had no intention of coming into the room, and you said, Catherine, would you like to come into the room? And I was like, I'm scared. I'm scared. No, I don't want to come in. And I got up and I got myself together, and that the rest is history. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's got a whole show and everything.
Yeah, you're responsible. You're the responsible party for me being here. So I want to thank you. Yes. And you know what? I really liked our team. I liked our team. Kurt was just hilarious. And all of a sudden now he's busy and he can't even come in the room anymore. I was going to invite him today, but I know this is his busy day. You know, he works people out. He's into wellness and fitness. And so he's in the gym today. So he is hilarious. I mean, I want you all to meet him. I'm going to invite him to come next Saturday every night. Isn't he funny?
We should do another
He is hilarious. Yes. So we're going to get him on here. And he right away said, hey, guys, let's do this every week. And then the next time, you know, we had technical difficulties, but he was the one who said, let's keep doing this. Remember?
He did. He did say that.
Yeah, he did. So he right away was chemistry. And that's why I know it's meant for you to meet certain people, because you can tell the vibe right away. I mean, as soon as I met you, you were just like so sweet. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, it's just so rare to meet people like that anymore. And I was like, you know, it just felt so familiar. You know, it felt so familiar. I was like, this is like family, you know? And so that's what really, when I called you last night and I said, would you come on? It was like, you just like my sister. I just felt so close to you immediately. And Kurt too. It was like he was my nephew. I mean, it was like everybody just came together and made a family. And I was like, this is, you know, and then when you talk to people and they want to talk to you outside of the Blab, you know you've made a connection, you know? So that's what I like about it. And I mean, you have a sweet disposition and you carry yourself very professional, and all of that is important. That's exactly the type of person I want. Someone who's real, not professional, phony, but real. I love it. Charlene, same thing. She came into my Blab the day that she came on, and she was just so sweet, and she was just sharing information, and she just was, you know, she was real. And you don't run into that a lot anymore. I mean, people are just like, boom, you know, they're in, they're out, and they don't care, you know. And then, Charlene, are you having the Napoleon Hill morning show? Is that you? Because I watched it twice, and I'm thinking that's you.
What show is
Yes,
that?
the morning mindset. You gotta check that out, Renee. She Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. She does that morning mindset. Yep. Yep. I've been
Okay.
on there, Charlene, and I've seen you twice. I've been on there twice. Yep. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it immensely.
Right.
So yeah, check that out, Renee. You will enjoy it. I get a lot from those because they discuss different things. And the thing that I like about it the most, being a preacher's kid, is that it is, and a Christian, that it is scripture based. And Napoleon Hill, his son was deaf, and he had beliefs that his son would hear, and his son eventually could hear. And so, that's a miraculous, event. And so, um, I was on a call, Charlene, where we did his last book, and it's on my website. I can't think of the name of it. Let me go look. We did a call, a Monday night call for about, I would say about 10 to 12,000 people. And this was our discussion. And one of my friends had gotten the opportunity to do this call in front of about 10 to 15,000 people. And he invited me. And he said, we're going to discuss a Napoleon Hill book. And I'm going to tell you the title of it in just a minute. As soon as it will be amazing, the things that people came back that night and said to us.
Wow.
And I have to get the recording because people were saying they felt like they were at a revival. It was just so much positive feedback. And, you can't plan things like that. It just happens. Let's see. What is it?
Thing.
Outwitting the Devil.
What was
Have you heard that, Charlene? Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil?
Yes. Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard of that.
You got to read that book. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. We did a call on it, and we got so much feedback. You were going to call me? Was I going to call you, Charlene? Did I say that the last time we talked? Let's see. He was prophetic and gives the answers. We can be better than the school systems prepared. Yes. Renee, you got to check that book out. We got incredible feedback. I mean, just imagine being in front of that many people. And this was a phone call. This was a Monday night call that has been in place since for the past, maybe, I want to say at least the past 5 years. And I was invited because a friend of mine was invited to do the call. And so he invited me and another friend. We used to do hangouts together on internet marketing. And he said, I've been invited to do the Monday night call. Would you please come on with me, Catherine and Jay, and do this call? And I was like, sure. I mean, who doesn't want that type of exposure? Right. And we got on and did the call. We didn't know what each other were going to say, but we did meet before the call. And the feedback that we got was just, it was mind-boggling. I had never, ever gotten that kind of feedback from anything. And people were just, my inbox on Facebook was full. They were coming on my Facebook page. I was just getting all kind of communications about that call. And people still talk about it. So that's really when you know that you're having an impact, because people were saying that they were inspired. The book, they wanted to read it. It was just so much feedback. And this was all due to this book called Outwitting the Devil. And it was a very controversial. I'm getting excited. It was a very controversial. I can't get it out. You know what I said. Controversy. Okay. It was controversial because Napoleon Hill, one of his relatives said, don't print that book until I pass. I don't want that book out until I pass away. He said, say it 3 times. Come on in the room. Sean, come on in the room. Quit playing.
Come
Yes.
on in. It's
Okay, so
Spider-Man.
Charlene's gone. And here comes Sean. I'm going to bring you in. Hi, Sean.
Sean.
You got to read that book.
I
want to
sounds
see if
like
Sean.
I have to pick it up.
It makes you rethink your position and how you approach life. Hi, Sean. What's up, guy?
Hello.
Hi, I came in late, so I don't know what book we're talking about.
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. How controversial it was when he wrote it, and they didn't allow it to be released for many years as a result. One of his relatives' wives said, "You cannot release that book until I pass away. I don't want that book out." And I was on a call one night, a Monday night call with at least 10 to 15,000 people on the call, and the feedback I got was just out of this world. I was overwhelmed with responses. And when you read it, you'll see why.
Outrunning or outwinning?
Outwitting. As in outsmarting.
Outwitting.
Yes, the devil. Yeah.
And about how
I'll have to put that on my list.
learning the things
Most
that
definitely.
Education doesn't teach you. Is that what it's about?
Basically, his opinion is that if you're not being amazing in life, then you have compromised your life that God gave you. And I'm to the point that it's a sin. Okay. When you're not using what he gave you, there's the link to the book. You're not, if you go with status quo, if you are just getting by, if you're just satisfied with your life, you're content, you're not trying, you're not reaching, you're not putting what God put in you, and you're not reaching, the ultimate goal that he put you on this planet for, then you are of the devil. That's basically what he's saying. And that's why it was controversial, because people didn't want to hear that.
Ouch.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
Mm-hmm. It's deep. And then in the conversation, we came up with The Go-Giver. Have you guys read that book?
The Go-Giver, no.
The Go-Giver.
I've heard of that one. Haven't read it
yet. You got to read that one. Yeah. All of it is
another good one. Another one I just finished.
What's that?
One I just finished recently that was really powerful was The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks.
Okay. I'll write that down. Oh, would you put it in the comment? If you can.
I will. And the YouTube link I shared in the comments is somebody put the audio version of Outwitting the Devil.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm gonna check that out.
So if somebody doesn't want to read it, I'm gonna put another one. That one's like a 3-hour video, and then I just found another one, which I think is a little longer. I think it's a little more in depth because it's 5 hours.
Oh wow! Can they even?
This one is 3 hours, and the next one is 4 hours. Wow.
This one, the one that's 5 hours is actually the YouTube channel. It says Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich. Okay. So it might be put up by, I don't know for sure if it's the Napoleon Hill Foundation or not. Mm-hmm. Because anybody can, YouTube doesn't check. YouTube doesn't check to make sure the name you put on your YouTube channel is your real name. So.
Okay. Funny, we were just about YouTube and their and how tough they are for advertisers.
Yes.
Or partners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was explaining that if you're a YouTube partner, they don't want you putting annotation links into your YouTube video. In fact, they won't even allow it.
Wow.
So if you put it up there, it won't register.
Use the cards?
Now the cards is
Are you
something
allowed to
Renee
use
was
the
just
cards
talking
though?
about. I have to go back and look at that. I have to see if a YouTube partner can use the cards. Because I see other people. I see other people. You know, not being able to use links. I see other people using links. Why can't I use them? Because I'm a partner. Oh, you signed the terms and agreement that you won't use that. So, okay.
The cards may be a loophole because now you can have people purchase right.
Okay, so explain cards. I mean, is this a side panel or what is that? Is it like a Twitter card?
No.
They're much nicer than annotations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can actually put a lot more. It'll pop up a little icon letting people know that that it's there.
Okay.
And you can do, you know, you can actually create a graphic and put it in the card and, you know, have it link out to your site, which I did one because, you know, the links like on annotations is only for your registered site. So it has to be your website.
Okay.
So you can associate your domain with your YouTube channel, and that's the only external links. You can't link to your Facebook profile. You can't link to your lead page's address unless it's under your domain.
Or
like if you have a, you know, my name lead pages.
Right. But you know, on your channel, you can link to anything you want.
Right, in the channel header.
Right.
Yeah, so what I use is I actually use a plugin on my site called Linker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it lets me it basically turns my domain into like a bit.ly link.
Mm-hmm.
So I can put my Twitter profile, I can put my Facebook profile, any link that is not on my site and put it in there, and it'll create, you know, mysite.com/ and then the name I want.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason a lot of people use one called Pretty Links.
Yeah.
Pretty Links I used to use.
But I like Linker because it lets me actually use my Yoast SEO on it.
Okay.
Whereas Pretty Link, it's just a forwarder. So
okay.
And it's called Linker.
I have Yoast
so just a little
SEO.
trick
Linker works with Yoast SEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just like when you create the post normally, you know, and you have all your Yoast settings to get your SEO ranking up.
Yes.
So Linker actually gives you all those same. You actually see the same boxes, and you can set up your SEO.
Okay.
But you're saying you're also website URL, and you can like my website / Twitter, my website, buying each of those. That way you're saying basically
exactly. Yeah, you control the name after your domain.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do my website / Twitter for Twitter profile / Facebook for Facebook profile / you know, something that you will recognize.
Right.
And it's still tracked just like a bit.ly link.
Okay.
So because a lot of people like to use bit.ly links because it'll track how many clicks. So this linker will actually track how many times people have clicked on it.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, I definitely will incorporate that. And so then I'm able to put my link in YouTube. Yay! Any other tips today, Sean?
You can put any link in YouTube.
Okay.
I did find a cool app if you do a lot of invoicing.
Mm-hmm.
I found this one called Invoice Ninja, and this kind of fits. It's tools and money. You know, we need to make invoices to get money.
Right.
It's called Invoice Ninja, and it's invoiceninja.com. You can create your own invoices, and you know, there's a few different templates you can choose, and you can upload your logo and set all your information, and it keeps a client database. and then when you need to create an invoice, you just create it and hit send it. And you can either send it directly or you can download a PDF. And it links to PayPal, Stripe, and some almost 30 other payment providers.
Okay.
And you get on the free account, you get up to 500 clients and unlimited invoices. And if you go over the 500 clients, you can go to a paid version, which is $50 a year.
Okay.
And it has the ability to create recurring invoices, which is one of the reasons why I loved it, because I've looked at some other services for like monthly invoicing that I, instead of having to keep a little spreadsheet to track when I have to send my invoices. So this lets me create, because all the other services charge a monthly fee, and I'm not at the point where I'm ready to pay that monthly fee because my monthly invoices aren't bringing in enough to justify it.
Right.
So
this
was
PayPal,
a big boon.
Even with PayPal, you have
PayPal
to
charges like $20 a month.
I paid 30 something.
Yeah, it's $20 a month for PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it might be 30. I thought I saw 20.
Yeah, well, I don't know what type of account, but I know what
they charge you that. Account. Yeah, they charge you that, and then they still take the percentage off the top.
Yep.
Get you coming and going.
Coming and going.
Can you upload your own invoices to Invoice Ninja if you already have one that you?
I'm not sure, but that's an interesting question. Hey, my friend Tech Bloke.
Hi, Tech Bloke.
Yeah,
Mr. Sod. He actually has, he has a weekly tech blab. Where, like this week they talked to plugins. Yeah, this week he talked plugins and themes.
Yeah, I saw him.
Previous week it was apps, and
I missed that one. Yeah.
Come on in.
He lives in Singapore.
Can you come on in? Would love to meet you face to face. I was on a blab with you the other day. I was in the room.
You're on the scope there,
okay, you're lurking. Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
So one of the coolest features with the cards, Renee and Catherine, because I was actually looking at it, it says you can do merchandise cards, which will allow you to promote your own licensed merchandise directly from the video.
Okay.
Right, you can. Wait, from the video itself?
Yeah, it'll give them a link. Like with annotations, you could set up some links, but this you could literally you could be sharing a product and then have the link right there so they can go buy it right then and there.
Okay.
I did see that.
That's great information.
And you can link to your channel or playlist or another video. And it's a lot cleaner than the annotations.
What do you guys think about advertising your business or your website without having a product first? Do you think you need to have a product first and then go ahead and spread the good news, or do you think it's never too early to start getting start pulling people in?
I would say it's never too early. Because you can, if you've got expertise, there's ones where you can do a launch and actually sell. I've seen a lot of people that did a webinar or a sales letter and sold a course that they hadn't even created the first video for yet.
Wow.
Really?
And been very successful.
So that's great. Repeat what you just said. Go back up through that again.
Say that again.
So,
because I'm holding off from doing anything until my courses are complete.
And I haven't done it because I'm a recovering perfectionist, and it scares the heck out of me. But I know a lot of. I see the validity in it because, like Saad said in the comments, it's a way instead of putting all this time and energy into building something and then nobody wants to buy it, you know it's sold. And so you know it's what your market wants.
Exactly. And we spoke about that earlier.
Yeah, and that's a key part. You know, all the, like you say in your title, all the tools in the world don't mean nothing if you're not talking the language of your, if you don't understand your target market and you're not bringing to market the things they need and want.
Right.
We may think we're brilliant in creating this thing, and it may be, there may be somebody out there that would love what we created, but if we're not speaking to our market. I had a lady ask me today, she's like, do you think I can sell a 90-day program for $5,000? I said, yeah, it can be done. It's done all the time.
Right.
As long as your market, their perceived value of what you're giving them is at or greater than that $5,000, then yes, you can do it. And you've got to know your market. And then you can create your message and branding to reach that market in the most effective way.
Exactly.
Do you think
so?
Putting it
Go ahead.
Planning to do, of course. What do you guys think, or just keep talking about a topic and seeing what bites, and then that value?
Yeah, and there's a lot of I've done that on a webinar promotion. We were doing a webinar, and we weren't even like selling a course at the end of the webinar. We were just, sharing some value. We gave out our affiliate links for a couple of things we mentioned on the webinar, but it was more of list building. And we actually pre-asked in some of the groups that the market was in, because I actually co-partnered with another entrepreneur. And so we asked the question, and we said, who would be interested, if you'd be interested in a webinar on how to do webinars, comment yes below. And then, so we got about 50 or 60 comments saying yes. And then at the end we said, okay, we'll share the link with you all when the registration page is ready, because we're still working on it. And so what we did is when we got ready, when the registration page was ready, we created a Facebook event, and I went back, and everybody that said yes on that comment, I made sure they got an invite directly through Facebook to the event. And with no advertising other than just doing that in the groups and promoting it on our timeline and our pages, we had over 150 people register for that webinar.
Wow.
And 30 of them showed up.
Wow.
And it was interesting because I had just worked with a client who had done a webinar and paid for advertising and got the same registration rate.
Yeah. Wow.
And
easy.
Yeah. Well, and there's some psychology to that pre-ask. They actually did a study. They went in a neighborhood and they knocked on the doors and they asked everybody. They had a little form and they said, would you give us permission to put this promotional banner in your yard? And they gave them measurements. It'll be this big by that big, and it's going to be promoting this guy running for mayor, I think it was, or something like that.
Okay.
And so they got people to sign and say, yes, you can put that promotional banner. When they came back to those people who signed and said yes, the banner was twice the size of what they told them, and they still let them put it in. So it's an interesting psychological phenomenon. If you get that pre-commitment ahead, then, they're more willing to open the door when you bring it out.
That's so true. And, it's so funny because people do, they buy in early. If they buy in early and then something changes, they're more apt to accept the change. And that's basically what you're explaining, because you got a yes. I had a discovery call recently and I got a yes. And so, when you get a yes, you can go into other things. They may say yes initially to one thing and end up you can upgrade them, upsell them, or whatever, because you just keep, leading them into other things that are going to help them as well. So that's great. That's great. So Karen, welcome to the room. Is anyone interested in coming in? Larry, come on in.
Comment. He said, once you get the money, it works like a kick in the behind for you to go and record the dang on course. It's true. I got to use that outlook. Before I've been here, like you're saying, total perfection. I want to create the best course, the best experience. But to your point, maybe creating something that people, it's not useful to people.
Right.
So I think what you're saying, it's better to get their feedback first.
Yeah, and a term that keeps coming up is minimum viable product. So maybe you don't put the first run at the full price that you would like to do it at. If you like you said, if you were to put in all the videos at the level that you want and all the worksheets and everything, do a minimum to get it out there, especially if you know that the market is seeking it. They're hot to take it, to buy it, then get the minimum you can do to market. And you can always update it, and because most of the time when you buy a course, it says lifetime access with all upgrades, updates, etc.
So I shouldn't be obsessing about every detail. I should just get the bare bones and then let people know that they will have lifetime access to it. And so it will constantly be updating itself. And, I'll upgrade it, basically. So then at that point, maybe the price point is even at the lowest that it'll ever be available, because once it builds and becomes an amazing course, then
right.
it can
Exactly.
the cost,
Yep.
And of course, I'm preaching to myself first of all.
Well, you guys have got me interested, because Renee and you were telling me about this card. So I definitely want to go and check that card out and see how I can change the link with Linker. With my Yoast SEO, and get it on in there and start. We were talking about earlier, Sean, about testing and tweaking, and we were talking about leads and lead generation. And I was explaining that I do customer acquisition. So, which means I give you a lead that is closed. It's closed, it's done. All you have to do is do the work. And I was explaining how I had helped a client generate. He gave me $100, and out of that $100, I generated almost $12,000 in 90 days for him in his business. He has a moving business, and we split the profits 50%. And I developed a website for him.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. And motivated leads, people who needed to move today, 24 hours, 48 hours, 2 days, a week, and the leads were very hot. And I closed them. I wrote the quotes. I knew nothing about the moving industry. Went in, same thing with limos and party buses. And I didn't name all the different ones that you can get into like that. But emergency services are hot.
Mm-hmm. And subscription services are a big thing nowadays too.
Mm-hmm. Financial services, credit repair. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a list.
I know a lady that does persuasive copy training.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a membership site where she's got training videos on writing your emails better, or crafting a better about page, or crafting a better home page. All these pieces, so that your message is clearer and it's attractive. So that it attracts the right clients. And she set up a membership site. She charges $20 a month. I've seen her financials, and she brings in 5 figures a month on that $20 a month membership plan. And she rarely gets any cancellations. Part of it is, again, it's like psychology, because Netflix at $8.99 a month or $8 a month. You're like, oh, I'm not really watching Netflix. It's just $8. this kicks in. It's like, I'm not using it, but I'm not going to cancel
I'm
it.
not going to cancel. Nope.
And she takes that all the way to the bank.
Exactly. And that was the business model that I came in on, was that, residually you could get paid over and over and over again. And that's how this is set up. I lease the website. Because a lot of times, and the reason being is because most of the times when you develop a website, what is the first thing they do, Sean? They say, thank you. See ya. And so my mentors told us no longer should we do that. We should lease the website and have them pay a monthly fee. And then if you make the agreement to share in the commissions that the website is making as far as the lead generation, the local SEO, then you share in those profits as well. So not only are you getting paid monthly residually for the website, but now you're also getting a percentage of the business that you bring as a result of your efforts.
Right. And that has a lot to do with a mind shift, a shift in mindset of trading time for money to value. I actually just got a free book. FreshBooks offers a free ebook. It says, I think it's called Escaping the Time Trap.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll find the link and I'll share it in the comments. But it tells it in a story, almost like a fictional story, but the message is nonfiction. And it's a story about this guy that got out of college and he's going to start this he has this web design on the sideline, and he's, basically he meets with a customer, talks to him. They say, oh, this is what we're looking for. And he goes home and he says, okay, that'll take me, this many hours, and I want to make this much an hour. So, okay, here's your total. And his friend tells him, no. She's like, I worked with a customer, and basically when I discussed the project with the customer, their goals, their needs, we determined that these improvements that I was going to make to their website could generate them $1 million over the next year.
Okay. And
she said, and so I charged them like $100,000 for the job. Because it was about the value, it was right. 100,000 is a small percentage of $1 million. So they didn't bat an eye at writing a check, making a small investment, because that's what it is. It's we're looking for the people that are ready to make an investment, that they're not looking at this as a cost or an expense.
That's right.
The light bill is a cost.
Exactly. This is an investment.
Education.
How much are we online?
Yeah. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, sorry, that was kind of an accident. I kind of landed on my iPad, so I apologize for that. But hi, how you guys doing? Wow. Thanks for letting me join in.
Okay. Would you like to introduce yourself and your business? Hi. Do you have a business?
I do, yes. Actually, I'm an SEO consultant. I run a small agency based in Cardiff in South Wales, in the UK. I've been working online roughly since I was about 14. That's when I built my first website. So I'm 28 now, so I've been online for about 14 years. I got a degree in mobile web and game design, which is sort of designing, apps for iOS, Android, etc. Covers like a lot of user psychology and stuff like that, and that's me really.
Okay. And you said since you were 14, so how long have you been doing it as a business?
As a business, roughly about the last 6 years. That's when I left uni. So I used to have affiliates on my site prior to before I sort of went as a business, and then obviously it's not the kind of thing you would have on your business site if you're running it as an agency kind of thing. So I decided to move away from that then, and sort of progress. I still run a few affiliate links on a blog and stuff, but they're not on my YouTube channel and stuff. But other than that, it's mainly sort of professional sort of clients, that kind of thing.
Okay. Wow. Well, great. I'm so happy you stopped in to meet us and to introduce your business. And if you have a link to your website, if you would please put it in the comment section so we can go visit your site.
Yeah, no problem at all. It's
okay. Thank you very much. Where we're going with this, we are going to be wrapping up soon because we've been on here since noon, and we want to welcome everyone who has just come into the room. And we want to give you the opportunity to come in and introduce yourself and your business. I see a few people have come in. Advantage SEO, that's you, right? That's your link?
That's my agency,
Andrew?
Yeah. So,
okay, very good. Are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn, yep. You can find... I recently just added my LinkedIn URL, so it should be... If you just add AD Basser to the the LinkedIn URL, that will bring my file up on there as well.
Okay.
But it's also my Twitter handle as well. So if you check out my Twitter account, you'll be able to see it on there as well. So
Wonderful. Okay, well I'll check you out. Sean, are you on LinkedIn?
I am.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd like to connect with as many people as possible because, everyone I can learn from. Everyone has a different experience in life, so you can learn from everyone basically, no matter what industry or what stage they are in life. Everyone gives you a different perspective on things. So you always got something you can learn from someone, whether that's someone you're trying to sell something to or someone you aspire to be like. So yeah.
Very good. Well, I'll definitely be contacting you and looking you up.
Fantastic. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
so, Sean, you're in Guatemala? Can you hear me? Because I can't hear. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm in Sunday.
Oh, okay.
I hear you. Sorry, I muted my mic because my dogs were going crazy.
Oh, okay. You're in Guatemala, right?
I'm in Antigua, Guatemala. Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm originally from California.
Okay. And how long have you been living there?
14 months.
You like it?
I love it here.
Really? Do you think you'll ever come back to the States?
Probably not. We've resolved that if we move from here, we're gonna go check out new places like Costa Rica, Panama, Brazil. Who knows?
Wow, I have friends in Costa Rica, but they say it's a wide divide because I had one friend who lived there. I had two friends who lived there, and they were 4 hours apart. So it must be huge.
Yeah, it's a pretty big area.
Okay.
I mean, it's not as big as the United States, but.
Okay. So with that, is anyone else want to come in and introduce yourself and your business?
And I'm going to go ahead and drop out, Catherine. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for the book. I got the last link that you put in. Thanks so much, Sean. I look forward to seeing you next week.
I'm working on putting my sites in there as well.
Okay, please do. Take care and have a great weekend. Okay, so Andrew, how long have you been on Blab?
I've been on here since about Tuesday this week. So I was introduced to it, by a friend. He was like, he works he's from New York and he works in PR. And he was like, there's some good stuff going on Blab. Check it out. So it's interesting. I've been in some interesting Blab so far, and like I said, you can always learn something. And it does seem to have. I try the best way to put this. There's a lot of internet marketers on here trying to, sell their services or their skills. But obviously, you could see through them quite quickly. So, it's become one of them industries that has become, it's like the SEO industry, really. If it's quite easy to call yourself an SEO. It's a lot harder to have the experience and the business acumen to be able to work with a wide variety of clients. And that goes the same for, like these internet coaches and gurus and marketers. You can sort of quite quickly see, who got the the knowledge and who hasn't. I joined in one yesterday, and the guy had quite an interesting avatar. He had a picture of himself with Richard Branson, and he'd come from like a various background, and his whole blab was trying to upsell his course. It was himself and a colleague, and then his whole blab was about trying to upsell a course opposed to rather than trying to pay attention to what anyone else was trying to say in the blab. So it was an interesting experience, but though so far it's been a great place to learn stuff. And I take everyone as an individual, and like I said, I try and learn the most from people as I can, because everyone has different experiences that they want to share, and you could always learn something. You can never stop learning. That's the one thing you find in life, that there's always something new to learn. So
yes, most definitely. And you are right. There have been a lot of experiences on Blab. You meet so many different people and from so many walks of life and business wise. And some of them aren't, they come on here and they try to bogart. We were talking about it today, Renee and I, we had someone on earlier, and they were trying to disrupt the blab. So you got all types. There is a method that you can block people though if you have problems. So definitely check out the PDF that I have for everyone today on lead generation. You can go to the show page and you can opt in and get a copy of that PDF, and it talks about lead generation. And I'm going to go over the tips, and we're going to wrap this one for today, and we'll see you guys on next week. The first tip for lead generation is offer your lead an incentive to do business with you. So you want to not give them something that's going to push them over. If they're a hot prospect, you want to offer them a discount or promo code or some type of incentive. Maybe they can get a discount if they buy a second service from you, if they buy a second course from you. You always want to put yourself in a power position to offer them something, because it's what's in it for them, what's in it for me. So you want to, include a deadline. You want to give them some type of deadline where, you're going to kind of push them into getting whatever it is. And I'm sure with you having your experience, Andrew, and others on here who are in business, you know how to get people to make a decision. And that's very important. But you always want to offer some type of incentive. The same thing with the blab. You can do a giveaway, you can do a contest, you can do that for Periscope, to get people in the room. So that's a good way to go about it. And if anybody has questions, you can put them in the comment section. You want to use consumer reviews and case studies and testimonials to get people to actually trust and like you. And I do have an article on my blog about the triangle of trust. The triangle of trust is email marketing, video marketing, and blogging. Okay, but if you actually want to, accelerate that, there is a way to do so. And I'm going to be doing a beta course on that, how you can get real-time leads and not use old lists to get people to buy from you. And there's a CRM that I use where the whole time we've been in here, my phone's been texting me that this person needs this service, this person needs that service. They need a wedding planner, they need a limo, they need a party bus, they need a move. Okay, so those are some of the areas. And are you doing any advertising, Andrew, or have you ever advertised your business?
I haven't, no. The reason being is I've always tried to work for clients that I know of. I suppose I have advertised in a sense of word of mouth marketing, but not as in, using paid advertising such as, AdSense or Twitter ads or, ads on LinkedIn or Facebook, etc. So I've been lucky in the sense that my dad used to run a business, my uncle's in business, so I've been able to get a lot of basic, I suppose you could call them warm leads. This person's looking for a website, here's their number. This one's looking for some graphic design, here's their number. So I've always been able to get by on that kind of sense. Whereas now I've moved into more of an agency role. I have had to sort of up my sales game, because it's something I haven't had to do in the past. So, generating my own leads and, going in, to cold calling, etc. That's been a learning experience for me. It's something I do sort of try and pick up along the way and sort of learn on the fly. Admittedly, I've got it very wrong in places, and I always see that failure is something you can learn from, opposed to something that's a negative. You can learn from failure, and it's your mistakes that make you more wiser, I guess. So
exactly. Cindy, hi. Thanks for that,
Hi.
Andrew. I appreciate you coming by and sharing that with us today, and I wish you much success in your business. Yes. Hi, Cindy. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing wonderful. What brings you in this Saturday? It's a beautiful Saturday here in Texas. Where are you calling from?
Kentucky. It's
Kentucky.
lovely but cool here today. It's finally cooling down. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. It's about that time of year, isn't it?
Yep, things start changing a lot. So, yeah, I was I kind of caught the tail end here. I saw your title, and I thought that was kind of interesting. You got all the tools, and you're not making any money. So, that's, you spend so much, or a lot of people get caught in it, which I have gotten into. You spend so much time on training and tools and listening, and and then you've got to get to the doing, and that's when you've got to really get past that gut wrenching stuff, and click on join to get in and expose yourself. So yeah.
Well, it's been an interesting topic today, because so many people are in that position where they have a lot of tools, they have a lot of information, they have a lot of everything, but they haven't had that transformational experience. And I am a good example of that. And I have had my transformational, experience. And so it's so important that, that we always seek other things in order to get ourselves in a better position. And so that's learning, whether that's buying new tools, whether that's, I spoke earlier about test and tweak. So, you test traffic, you test a lot of things before you get the formula. And so I have my formula now, and I am going to definitely be offering a course in beta where people can learn exactly what my blueprint is, because I, like you, for 2 years, no results.
Right. And it's nice when you finally get to that point where it clicks, it comes together, it starts working for you, and it's like, hallelujah, oh my gosh, it's happening. And I haven't quite reached that. I'm starting to pick up a little momentum, and I've been really excited about the Periscope and the Blab thing, because I've done 4 Periscopes now, and this is the second Blab I've been on, and I tried one, but I made a bunch of mistakes, didn't have any viewers, and that's okay. I had to get past that first one where I made all the mistakes. Periscope, I had been watching, so I had a pretty good feel for what to do. So I actually had viewers and stuff like that, which was cool. And so anyway, but yeah, that getting to that point where, like you say, the transformation happens, that's, a lot of people don't wait long enough for that to happen. They give up too soon. And the only way to fail is to quit. So
that's right.
I agree with that one.
Exactly. I do too. I wrote an article that says success and failure. And it talks about how in the dictionary, failure comes before success. So until you fail, you can't succeed. And if you're not willing to fail, a lot of people are, they're touchy when it comes to failure. They're, I can't do that. I'm a perfectionist. But in order to succeed, you have to fail over and over and over and over again until you get your desired outcome.
Right. And you've got to change that feeling of the word from the negative feeling connotation of the word to the positive, because a failure means that you're out there moving and growing and doing things and making mistakes and learning. And, nobody has succeeded without failure. I mean, it's part of it. So it's just a stepping stone. So if you fail, rejoice. Oh, yay, I failed again. That means I learned some more and I'm getting closer, So
Exactly.
I had to learn that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Successes,
Yes.
basically.
Exactly. So you have been online in your marketing for how long, Cindy?
I've been marketing for a couple of years, probably 2.5 years. I've done a lot of, as far as trying to actually have a business where I'm helping people learn that. That's been in the last maybe 6 months. Because I know so much, I need to start passing it along to people. And I'm finding out how much I know because I'm picking up clients now and they're like, wow, you just know so much. And I'm like, ooh, that makes me feel so good. It's that confidence building thing. So I'm really, really good on Facebook. So right now what I'm concentrating on is helping people build up their presence on Facebook, build up their brand, how to market, and low-cost marketing. Because there's, Facebook ads can get out of control. Although I love Facebook ads, and I love playing with those too, because you can do so much. But, just learning how to present yourself and interact with people, because there's kind of a science to it with the algorithm and all that. You've got to know how to work with all that. And once you do, there's so much you can do that doesn't cost anything. So you can get going on Facebook and do get a lot done without having to do the ad spend. Now you need to do some ad spend initially, but
yes.
You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads to get somewhere.
Exactly. Does anyone else want to chime in on that?
I'd like to answer on could. I find, for me, what's worked the most when it comes to advertising is happy clients, because of the word of mouth aspect. If you can get a good review, you can point it to somewhere like Trustpilot or any of the other review sites. I'm not quite sure what the big ones are in America. We have Yelp over here. I'm not sure if you get that. I think you get Yelp in the States.
Yeah.
But, getting these reviews, they, not only do they aid your SEO on any of your sites, but also, these people, if they're happy, they will go and recommend your services and are likely to point people in your direction. So I think the most cost-effective way of marketing is just providing a great service and a great product that people can go, I like that. I learned a lot. I got a lot from it. I respect that person. I can, recommend them to someone. And, that's what's worked for me. I'm not saying that will work for everyone. But in my experience, that's what's worked well for me and for some of my clients. So,
yeah. You want to under promise and over deliver. You always want to give more value than you said you were up front, and then people will learn to appreciate that, hey, you're not just going to, drop and go. You're actually going to give them some value, and people appreciate that.
That's so true.
I think especially if you're trying to do it as like a personal branding exercise as well. I think sometimes if you're operating in a business capacity, you've got to be a bit careful, because you can do too much and that can sort of negatively affect your business, where you can have clients keep coming back because they think you'll give more than they're paying for. But on a personal branding level, you can continue to provide that service, because it's your reputation, not your business. I kind of separate the two, of the personal brand and the business, because I do have, like, my SEO agency is a separate sort of entity from me as such. So where I have contracts with them clients, I have sort of set goals that I need to fulfill, and they have set objectives as well. Whereas on a personal level, I can extend on that service personally, but not on the business aspect, because obviously they're getting what they're paying for, but the service is extra, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure if I put that across in the right way, but it might make some sense.
Right. Yeah. You got to not undervalue what you're giving too. As far as when you're in business, you've got expenses, and you've got to not be so charitable that you can't stay in business. So otherwise you don't have a business. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to treat a business like it's business. You know, as women, a lot of times we find it harder to charge people what our services are worth, and we undervalue our services, and we can't. That's an error, because people have to pay for what they want, and they have to invest in themselves and their business. And if they're not willing to do that, then that's just not your customer. That's not your prospect. And you have to kind of get in front of that. I think you have to realize early on where you are with this person. That's why it's so important to have questions. When you have a discovery session with a person that you're going to do business with, it's so important to ask questions. I have about 12 questions that I ask. And then I don't always just ask the questions I have. I listen. And then it may go in another direction than what I had initially planned when I asked those questions, because it could be something they say and it triggers me to ask them something else that is even more relevant than what I had initially planned to ask. So you have to let them kind of guide the process, in that you ask the questions, but you leave it open enough where if it goes into another direction, you're open and you're listening and you're taking notes. Because people like it when you listen to what they say, what they feel, what they have experienced. Then that means that you're interested actually in them and not just selling or pushing something on them that they don't need.
Yeah. We were thinking about that, about women doing or talk about telling you. I'm
going in and out.
Now as a business.
It's breaking up.
Yeah, I don't seem to be getting the audio from Renee.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was fine.
Okay. It's better now.
Oh,
okay. Okay. Try again.
No, I was saying, talking about how I was saying I previously used to teach people basically for free. I was giving them free coaching, and now I've only learned recently to turn that into a business and not sell myself short. I was so happy to have them get successful and to get their wins, and I wasn't thinking, putting my business hat on and say, I need to maybe charge. I maybe need to monetize this.
Right.
It took me smart enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Cindy, that's good, Renee. Cindy, you said you've been getting clients. So what exactly are you doing? Are you doing Facebook advertising? How are you generating clients?
To find people, just going out and interacting on Facebook. And I picked up a client from Periscope last week, so that was kind of cool. I wasn't doing the Periscope. I was just on the Periscope, and there was it was somebody who was allowing more of an open dialogue with people, and saying, okay, what do you do, and letting everybody know what you do. And somebody's like, does anybody know how to do graphics on Canva? And I said, well, I can do that. So I've been working with her, and it's turned into much more than just helping her with Canva. So that was great.
It is.
So yeah, so just getting the word out. That's why I'm trying to do more Periscope, and just letting people know what I do. So
right. That's wonderful. So you were in the comment stream and you were able to generate a client. That's very impressive.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes. So I would like for everyone at this point to put if you have not done so, or you can redo it, put your website or your blog in the comment stream so we can visit each other and support each other. Also, if you have not done so, please click on the plus sign next to everyone's name and the people in the chat and follow each other. Let's support each other and help each other get the word out about our businesses. So, let's see.
Where's the plus sign? Oh, I see favorites and an arrow.
Yes. Next to the person's name and picture at the top of their blog window, there should be their name, and then next to it is a little man or woman, a little headshot. Click on that.
Oh, up at the top. Okay, I was looking in the chat. Up at the top, there's.
Yeah. And then
let's
see, Kyle Jones. And then if everyone would go over, I see Andrew went over to the little bird. If you could go over to the little bird and tell a little bird so other people can come in, even if they watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay, we want to thank you for stopping by. And if you are here live, I saw Elaine come into the room and I said hi to her. Let's see. I think I tried to reach out to everybody that was in the chat.
Yeah, can I just say, great work on doing that, Catherine, because a lot of blabs you get into, there's not much, the host doesn't tend to, sort of thank everyone for joining or say hi, they just sort of think, oh yeah, they've passed in, they sort of expect people to turn up opposed to, considering it, this is something to appreciate, so.
Oh, it's an honor to have you all because thank you for adding your websites too. Andrew, you added yours again. Okay, great. It's right here. Okay. Yes, it's an honor to have everyone here on Saturdays. So please come back next week and join us for Small Business Saturdays. I would like to thank Renee for coming today. I would like to thank Cindy, Andrew for coming in the room and sharing. And once again, you can go and get the free PDF for lead generation so you can build up your prospects and your customers. Yes. And I appreciate everyone. And we are going to end it here. So thank you so much and have a beautiful rest of your weekend. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.